Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Jen here with How Jen Does It. In case you are new, welcome. Today I'm going to be sharing over 35 ways to save money, so I hope that you find this helpful. These are all just suggestions. You definitely do not have to do all of them or even any of them, but hopefully you find it helpful. The first one is to utilize the pickup feature at Target instead of going in. We all need stuff from Target from time to time, at least I do, in toilet paper or lotion or what have you. But we know it's so tempting when we go in the store. So when you need stuff, just utilize the pickup. It's completely free and they do such a great job with it. They usually have your order ready within an hour, and that way you're not tempted when you go in the store. Buy your greeting cards at the Dollar Tree or even at Trader Joe's. They're only $1. Cards are so ridiculously expensive, and a lot of times people just read them quickly and they end up getting tossed. So you can get 2 for $1 at Dollar Tree. They also have Hallmark cards that are $1 each, and they have really cute cards at Trader Joe's also. Use reusable makeup removing cloths. That's a mouthful. So instead of purchasing makeup remover or makeup remover towelettes, just buy some makeup remover cloths. I was using baby washcloths with some makeup remover instead of buying the disposable cloths, and then I got some cloths that actually remove makeup and you don't need any product. So you just buy the cloths, and I'll insert a picture, and it is like magic, and it just takes all of your makeup off with just water, so you don't have to keep repurchasing makeup remover or the towelettes, and it's a lot better for the environment as well. I think that you can look really pulled together and create really cute outfits by shopping your closet, especially if you have to make some cuts from your budget, especially if you're trying not to buy more clothes. Just go in your closet and see what you can put together. Try on different colors together. You can come up with some really cute things. Change up the accessories. Keep a list of what you actually need so that you can complete outfits, that you can have everything you need to get dressed and look nice and presentable, and that we are not just buying random things that are going to fill your closet and maybe you won't ever wear. Always go to the grocery store with a list. So important, because if we just buy random stuff, we always spend more money. Another way to make sure you don't go over budget at the grocery store is to put the items that maybe you would like to get if you're within budget in the front of your cart, and don't add them to the belt until you see your total. If you can, go ahead and add them. If you're at budget, then say, I'm sorry, I don't want these. It just makes it a lot easier so that you don't get over budget and then you're like, oh no, I have to take some things off, and you feel frazzled and like, what don't I need? Just put those items in the front and don't add them if you are at budget. Also, spending cash at the grocery store, if you find that you're consistently going over, is a lot easier, because if you just have what your budgeted amount is, then you're not going to go over. Now, to totally say the opposite of what I just said, I wouldn't normally suggest using a credit card. However, some of them have really good benefits. If you struggle with credit card usage, just ignore this tip. But if you are someone who always pays that balance, who never has debt, then this is a great tip. John and I don't have any debt, and we like to travel. So we have a Hyatt card. We put our gas for our vehicles on there and our groceries, and we stay within budget on our groceries. We pay the balance off every single month. We never pay interest, but we get free hotel nights. And so we stay at Hyatt's, and almost all of the time our nights are free. This is a really simple one that is not only helpful to save a little money, but it's also great for the environment. Have reusable water bottles and use them all of the time. I always take water with me. We just use the water from our fridge and it's basically free. So that's just a little way to save money, but just make sure that you have a good water bottle and take it with you, because that way you're not tempted to buy a beverage while you're out. Cancel any subscriptions that you are not using. So think about all of the things that you are charged each month or once a year and evaluate if you're actually using them. There are constantly things that get renewed, and sometimes if we're not checking, we realize we haven't even used that, or we tried a free app on our phone, but after 90 days or 30 days, we get charged. So just look at your debit card or your credit card statement and see what you're being charged and if you're actually using it. Even if it's Netflix or Amazon Prime or any other popular subscription service, if you're not using it, it's a waste of money. One thing that you can do on your phone, I would show you, but there's too much personal information, is go to your settings and at the top it will have your Apple ID. Click on that and then go down to subscriptions. And there it will have anything that you're going to be charged for, any apps or things on your phone. I actually had one on there. It was one that I used a while ago, and then I found a better app. It was for making pictures for like Instagram and things. And I was gonna be charged in August, and it wasn't a large amount of money, but I would keep getting charged that every month and I didn't even realize it. Use your library. I love to read, and right now I'm tearing through books. I love mysteries, and most of them I would never read again because I already know what happens. So I find that I save money by using the Libby app, or when the library is open, just going in and checking out the book instead of constantly buying books. Of course, I love books, and some are worth investing in if it's something that you want to highlight or look at often, then yes, for sure, purchase it if it's within your budget. But I find that I read a lot and it would cost quite a bit to purchase all of those books. You can also rent movies, and there are tons of resources at the library, but use your public library. Be mindful of utility usage. So if you're living comfortably and you're able to, meet your bills every month, this is something that we don't think a whole lot about. But if you really need to trim things back, then it is something to think about. Can you maybe bump up the temperature a little bit so that your AC isn't running constantly, or maybe in the winter make it a little bit cooler in the house and you just dress more warmly? Or can you go around and unplug things that aren't in use? Just think about your utility usage. Maybe not leaving a bunch of lights on, as I'm sitting here with all these lights on to make sure it's nice and bright, but not leaving a bunch of lights on in the house and just unplugging things really does make a difference. Grocery pickup was one of my favorite things, and I talked about it mostly on Instagram because I would do Instagram stories while I was getting my grocery pickup. Well, I actually haven't been using the grocery pickup because a lot of times my grocery store is out of things and I just didn't want the hassle, so I've been going into the store. But grocery pickup, a lot of times it is free, but grocery pickup is great because you see your total as you're ordering groceries, and then you can sit and rearrange things, take things out of your cart, and you're not in the store putting extras in your cart. So it is a great way to save money normally. Another pretty simple thing to do is to track your spending. If you're married, have your spouse do this as well. It's just very eye-opening to see where your money goes. So maybe just for a month, track every dollar that you spend and see if there are ways that you can cut things out, or maybe just spend a little less in certain areas. This is a big one. Don't buy things that you don't need just because they're on sale, or it's the Dollar Tree and they're only $1, or you're out thrifting and you find this really unique thing, because all of that adds up and it's also clutter in your house. But if you go to the Dollar Tree and you just start loading up things because they're only $1, or you go thrifting and it's like $3 here, $2 here, 50 cents here, it all adds up, and maybe it's stuff that you don't really need. So I like to think through everything that I am purchasing. Will I actually use this? Do I really need this? And not just purchase it because it's only $1 or it's a really good deal. A great way to save money is to do a lot of your beauty at home. So I don't cut my own hair, and I do have balayage. I had the money and was able to do it, so it's totally fine. But I do touch up my own roots, and I've been doing this for a really long time. I can let you know what I use and everything if you want me to, but I do buy professional hair color, and I get grays that come in, and I have to color my hair every 4 weeks on the dot, or you can see like major gray roots. So I just do it myself because I'd be at the salon all the time and it gets expensive, and also it takes a lot of time. Also, I paint my own nails and give myself a manicure. I do them every week so they look nice and fresh, and I get asked all of the time about my nails. So you really can save a lot of money by doing your own nails. I do my own pedicure, so you really don't need a whole lot of supplies to do it, but it is maybe like a one-time investment to get the buffer, the files, and some nice oil for your cuticles. But really, I do save a lot by not doing that. I do my own self-tan, so I don't go and get a spray tan. This is a big one if you're working on saving money. Have the amount that you want to save as part of your budget, as part of your bills. Maybe have it directly deposited from your check into another account. If you can't do that with your work or whatever, take it immediately and put it in a savings account or wherever you save it, and don't touch it. Treat it like it's a bill. We have a certain amount each month that we save, and we treat it like it's a bill. It's on our budget like it's a bill that we have to pay, and that really helps your mindset. It really helps you not to just, oh, well, we'll save if we have a little extra. You'll spend most of it. If it's in your account, you'll think of things, you'll want things, and you will spend the money. I am all for donating stuff, and I donate stuff a lot, but some things are worth selling. So look around and see what you can sell. If you are in need of a little extra cash, think about things that you no longer need. If you have things from your kids that they no longer play with, no longer need, you can sell those. There's always people buying those on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. If you have maybe a designer bag that you just aren't into anymore, get some money for it. You can sell just about anything. Look in your garage, look around your home, think of things that you're no longer using, no longer love, and sell it. Also, get in the habit of returning things that aren't quite right. I return things all the time. If I purchase them, maybe I even tried it on the store, and I get home and I'm like, I don't know about this. It's getting returned because I know I won't wear it. It will just sit in my closet, and then eventually I'll get rid of it. And then you kind of feel guilty, so it gets returned. Ulta and I'm pretty sure Sephora are really great at returning makeup and beauty products. Maybe you bought a hair product and it just does not do what it says it was gonna do, and you paid like $20, $30 for it. They will return it and give you your money back. So I asked on Instagram if you all had any favorite money saving tips, and I had almost all of them because I had a long list, and you know, a lot of my favorites are your favorites. But the most popular one was eat at home. Cook your own food, and I already had that, but obviously that is a great way to save money. Make your own food and almost never eat out. We have not been out to eat or gotten carry out, hit the drive-through, nothing in over 4 months. We got ice cream one time when we were at a park that wasn't close to our house. It was just a little treat. That's the only thing we've gotten in over 4 months. So that was a great way to save money. And I've mentioned Eat at Home is a meal planning service. So I'll leave a link below if you want to check it out. If meal planning isn't your thing, it's really inexpensive, and I do have a code for 25% off. So I'll link that below. But meal planning, going to the grocery store, getting everything you need for dinners, having a stocked pantry, making inexpensive meals, and eating at home is such a great way to save money. Along with eating at home is avoid purchasing convenience foods. You're paying for the convenience, which sometimes is worth it, and if you have the money, go for it if that's something you want to do. But if you're trying to save money, there's so many things that you can make from scratch, and they're actually pretty easy, and a lot of times they taste a whole lot better. I used to make granola bars like every week. My boys are a little older, so they aren't as into granola bars anymore, but I can link my recipe. It's one of the first videos I recorded. I used to bake a lot of things like muffins. I have a banana snack cake that I used to make when my boys were younger so that I wasn't paying for someone else to do it. Also, cutting your own fruit, it really only takes a couple minutes. I know some of you are totally busy, and if it's worth it to you, then go for it, and no guilt, not at all. But I'm just sharing some ways to save money. You can make your own chicken stock, your own vegetable stock from scraps. I do it all the time. It's delicious, but I sometimes purchase it because I just don't have like a chicken carcass lying around. Oh, that would be gross, but to make chicken broth, so I just buy it. But it is really delicious to make your own, and just think about things that you can make on your own instead of paying for that convenience. Inexpensive date nights can be just as fun. I know some people hate the term date nights, so inexpensive events, going out with your husband, whatever, can be really fun. So I don't know what else you would call it if you didn't call it date night. So sorry if you hate that term. Okay, so think about things that you can do that are totally free. Maybe just make something at your house, watch a movie on Netflix, play a board game, do a home project together, go for a walk. John and I have been going for walks on this trail in our own city. We discovered this great trail, and it has all these like parts that go off from it, so you can, you know, walk something different each day. I knew it was there, but I had no idea it was that big. So we've been doing that. You can, you know, sit out on the patio or in the backyard or on the porch. You can go to a park and swing on swings, which is kind of cute. There are so many different things that you can do. You don't have to go to a really expensive restaurant. You don't even have to go to any restaurant. I already had this on my list, and someone else mentioned it, and I think it's such a great way to save money because we're so tempted. So keep your beauty products, your makeup, your hair products to a minimum. Another person said, use what you have and don't purchase anything else until you run out. Another great way to save money might not work right away because you have to actually have the money to do this, but it's to pay your insurance and different things in advance. A lot of times you get a discount, so we get a discount by paying for our full year of car insurance. There are different discounts that we get for different services that we need if we pay for the full year. So that is a great option. If you haven't already been doing that, maybe you can put that into your budget and save up so that when the next time comes around, you can pay it for the full year and reap some of those benefits. One thing that is really important to have in your budget, even if it's just a tiny little bit of money, is spending money. And if you're married, spending money for your spouse, spending money for yourself, just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot unless you can afford that. We are all about goals, so we don't have a ton of spending money. We have a budget for everything. We have an emergency fund that we worked on building up, and then we have been saving money for home projects so that we can pay cash for them. So we have financial goals, big financial goals. So we realize we don't need a lot of money to spend on just whatever. But if your budget is so tight that you never have any little bit of money to spend on things, it can be very frustrating, and it is less likely that you'll stick with it. So even if you only have like $5 to get a coffee once a month, or whatever your thing is, if you just want to be able to buy a journal or a notebook, or you want to be able to have $5 in your wallet so that if you see something that you really like, you can buy it. But I'll just tell you, because I know I'll get asked, I always get asked this, John and I do $40 every other week. So about $20 a week. That isn't a lot compared to our budget, but it's enough so that we have money if we want to go out to lunch with a friend, or John wants to go golfing, or we can even save it if we want to get something that's a little more expensive, but we budget for everything else. So it does not account for haircuts or our date night or clothes or anything. It is just spending money. Cook really inexpensive meals sometimes, maybe once a week, whatever works well for you. Meatless meals are usually pretty inexpensive. We do rice bowls. We actually just had that for dinner last night, and they're so filling because we have lots of stuff in them, and I use the other stuff for different meals I'm making. So if I make pico de gallo, I use it for the rice bowls, but maybe like the next day or 2 days later I have chicken fajitas and I can use the ingredients for that. Think of things that you can make. Have maybe a list of really inexpensive meals. My rice meatballs are really inexpensive. We do rice bowls, like I said. You could do like rice noodle bowls and maybe have more like Asian flavors, but the meat is usually what costs a little more in those, so just have a meatless meal. You can do frittatas. You could do like breakfast for dinner, pancakes and stuff, or like scrambled eggs. Just think of different meals that you can make that are pretty inexpensive, and maybe that will lower your grocery budget a little bit. Another great way to save money at the grocery store is to purchase in-season produce. It usually goes on sale for really cheap when it's in season, and then if you buy it out of season, it's like ridiculously expensive, and it also isn't as good. Always ask yourself, do I actually need this? If you're trying to cut down on your spending, ask yourself, do I really need this, before you purchase pretty much anything. So we're fine, but we actually are making a little less money right now. So I want to stay with our financial goals. So that means I have to reduce how much I am spending because we're bringing in a little less right now, and I want to stay with our goals, like I said. So I'm thinking about different things that I'm spending money on. There's a rug under my desk chair, and it's white, and I got it at IKEA, and it was about 30 bucks, and it just looked kind of dingy, and I'm like, I'll just get a new one. And I'm like, 30 bucks. Like, yeah, I can spend that, but you know, can I wash this thing? Maybe it would perk up. So I looked at the tag and it said to hand wash it. So I took like 10 minutes or less, washed it, hung it out to dry, and it looks perfect. So I would have wasted 30 bucks basically, is what I'm saying. Like, can you repair something? Can you just clean it? Do you actually need it? Or can you use something else that you already have? Putting things in your cart online shopping and just leaving them there for a couple days, and then going back to see if you actually still want that. All the stuff in our cart, man, if we bought it all, we'd have all kinds of junk. But you know how it is, something looks great, and then you're like, I don't really need that, or that top wouldn't really look good with, what I was thinking, or whatever. Just leave it there for a couple days, think on it, and then decide if you actually still want to pull the trigger. all of the cute little extras really add up, whether it be in your cart at Target, if you find yourself in Target, whether it be at the grocery store, or a Starbucks tumbler or mug, or in your cart online, wherever you go. Even the Ulta checkout has all these little things right there. Think about those because they might just seem like a few dollars, but they all add up. When you do need to purchase something, because we all do, and there's nothing wrong with purchasing things, we need things, but be mindful about it and you can really save money is the whole point of this video. So check Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and different sources of that nature to see if you can get something gently used, a good deal on something. You can really find some great deals. So I talked about this in a video a long time ago, but when we were renovating our house, we got some things on Craigslist that you would not believe. So we got all of the cabinets in our kitchen on Craigslist. They were like brand new. We got the granite in our powder room. We did pay for the granite in our kitchen. That would have been amazing if we could find that on Craigslist. We got both of our mantles for our fireplace on Craigslist. So just check Facebook and Marketplace, Craigslist, and other places because you can find some really great stuff. With that though, is don't buy stuff that you don't need or that isn't quite right just because it's on Craigslist and a pretty good deal. Don't purchase excessive cleaning products. A lot of times we can make our own, or we can use one or two things to clean just about everything. I like to use Ibotta for groceries and things. You get a little bit of cash back and then they send you a gift card after it's like $25. So that's a great way to get a little money back. A few people mentioned Ebates. I would just say with Ibotta or any cash back or rebate, make sure you don't purchase things again just because it's a good deal on there or you get so much back, because if you don't need it or you weren't going to buy it anyway, it's not really a good deal. Whenever you do a home renovation or an update or a repair even, say like some cement work or brickwork or whatever you need to have repaired in your home, be sure to get several estimates. If you need a new roof, make sure you get lots of estimates. If you are having your bathroom renovated, be sure to get a lot of estimates if you're going to use a contractor. They can be all over the place. Of course, we want to make sure we are using a professional, that they come well recommended, and we do a lot of research because you can get a really low estimate, but they're not going to do a good job. So do your research, take your time, don't rush into anything, but get a lot of estimates. When you are shopping online for things that you thought about and made sure you needed and all of that, be sure to look for coupon codes and free shipping codes. But with that, make sure you don't buy extra just so that you meet the amount that you need to use that coupon code or spend $50 more so that you can use the free shipping. But you can usually find a code for a discount. You can also look on YouTube because a lot of times they have codes in their description box, so that's a great way to find codes. The last one is really good, and this one came from one of my followers on Instagram. I thought this was great and it would work for so many different things. So she said when she gets her paycheck, she fills her Starbucks card with what she had budgeted for Starbucks, and that way she just spends that amount and never goes over her budget. I thought that was such a great idea. You could use this for Starbucks, you could use this for Target, you could use it for anything really, things that you're into, maybe Bath and Body Works or whatever. It's a great way to stay within your budget and not go over. Along with that, I forgot to mention, we can make our coffee at home, but if it's in your budget and you love going to Starbucks and that just makes your life a little bit better, then go to Starbucks. There are lots of things that we can spend money on to enjoy life, and there is nothing wrong with it. Sometimes you just hear little comments and it's not wrong to spend money. If you make money, you don't owe anyone money, and it's within your budget, go for it. Buy yourself a little treat. But if you're trying to cut back, you can skip the Starbucks, you can skip the drive-thru, you can make your food at home, and all of the other things that I said. But we don't need to feel guilty for spending money that we earn when all of our bills are paid. That is one of the greatest things about having a budget and knowing everything is taken care of, because when you do go to spend a little extra money, there's no guilt involved. So I am going to wrap this up. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you have any more ways to save money, please leave them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you in my next one. Thanks for watching, guys.